Hello, my name is Kate, and I'm gonna tell you about the dragon who never died in D&D. Aglaraerose, the dragon who never died, the monster of the fang in the forest. She was an ancient green dragon who found a way to drain life force out of surroundings, prolonging own existence. She brought fear and destruction upon lands of Impiltur and even worked with red dragon Klauth once. She is a rare character, which can be found in all editions of Dragon's magazine. But how did she become like that? Let's figure it out. Nothing is known about Aglaraerose's early days, as nobody saw the dragon or survived to tell the story. Yet, some believe the dragon originated somewhere on the Isles of Nelanthur. She appeared in disguise in 349, dropped down and attacked the ship in the Shining Sea, sailing to the north of the Swords Coast. Yet, being inexperienced, she nearly got drowned from the spells of the wizards on board and had to fly away. Elminster mentions that the dragon was first spotted when she was already a young adult. Since young dragons count from 0 to 100 years, an adult's range is between 100 years to 600 years. I think she was on the border between two, or not too far off. Hence, she was born around 150 and 250 DR. After the shameful defeat, Aglaraerose decided to move away from the Isles, afraid of the rumors which could spread about the weak young dragon who couldn't cope with merchants. Such rumors usually attract hunters and adventurers, which the dragon wanted to avoid for now. She flew off to the lands of Shaar, which were grassy vast plains full of wildlife before the spell plague turned them into wastelands. Searching for a suitable hidden lair took her hundreds of years, until she had settled in the area of Veldorn. It is not said what she had been doing for the next 900 years, apart traveling east to Veldorn. Yet she was constantly spotted in the area between 1249 to 1278. I think that each failed attack attempt made her move further and further inland until she found a perfect hidden location from her lair, from which she could explore all Faerun. Almost 100 years later, in 1339, flying over the North regions, Aglaraerose stumbled upon an old ancient dragon Klauth, known for paranoid behavior towards all other dragons. Both picked the same site as their hunting ground. Yet, for reasons unknown, the ancient red dragon decided to cooperate with Aglaraerose instead of killing her, and both feeded upon the orcish tribe that day. As mentioned by Elminster, she was not seen for the next 12 years and only reappeared in 1351 to feed on the caravan near Hardcastle. We probably know about it because of the lucky survivors. Aglaraerose felt the burden of age. Passing the mark of 1000 years troubled the green dragon. She lost interest in the hunt and wanted to lure adventurers to her lair rather than spending hours tracking and hunting them herself. On one day, she ambushed a party of 9 dwarves, Norrald's 9 axes, led by Norrald Fohammer. The outcasts from dwarves' clans explored the mines of Earthfast Mountains to the northwest of Veldorn and knew everything about hidden caves there. The dragon didn't kill them, but hired them to build her the perfect lair in the secluded area of this mountain chain in a Soul Peak, which was an extinct volcano fang in the forest, formerly known as Dire Lorest. After the dwarves built an ideal lair full of giant jaw-like spike traps, Aglaraerose set the Norrald's 9 axes free, so they can spread the rumor about the work and the lazy dragon with a huge hoard inside the mountain. The dragon called her lair Lure of Jaws. I should admit that Aglaraerose's marketing strategy was quite successful. The word of mouth from dwarves had spread pretty quickly, and the conversion rate from listener to food was quite high, according to Ed Greenwood notes. The dragon's lair was built as a series of rooms with statues. The dwarves connected long pipes to each statue, which led to the lair. Through these pipes, Aglaraerose spoke for the statues, messing with adventurers, giving them riddles, dividing them and luring them to the deadly traps. Each riddle room went deeper into the mountain, ending with a series of other corridors. All those ended with an unseen metal deadly jaw-like trap, which crushed and maimed the adventurers' legs, forcing them to fall through the inclined 30 feet slide opening to the dragon's lair. 5 years later, in 1356, an adventurer Lair Hammerland managed to pass all the traps and reach the lair of the dragon deep under the mountain. Feeling amused by this rare event, Aglaraerose released him from her lair. Lair returned from the Grey Forest and told everyone about his crazy survival, which created lots of spreading rumors about the dragon with a huge horde. And that's all played out how the dragon planned. The story reached Tay, attracting a Thayan wizard, Zeltrar Ulaf, who knew the secret of draining spells. Aglaraerose lured the wizard down to her lair, riddling him and disorienting, making him step on the trap. Maimed, he fell right in the front of the dragon mouse, and she swallowed him whole. It is said that Zeltrar was not devoured, instead merging with the dragon inner system, giving her the ability to drain life force from the surroundings. They formed a symbiosis, which was not affected by life-draining aura. With life-draining aura, the dragon didn't have to eat to continue its existence, becoming practically immortal if the supply of life matter was abundant. The victim were drained at a very fast rate, withering away. It is unknown how Aglaraerose lived through Samastan Draco Age, but it is said that the dragon was last spotted in 1374, when the large herds of cattle were lost in Sulagol. Could it be the real Aglaraerose driven mad and leaving her lair, or had the dragon that never died been long gone and it was something else? Nobody could really say that time. Is she a strong character? From the lore perspective, she was quite an experienced fighter, yet she compensated it by being smart. And also, she could drain life force from anything in the vicinity. I would say, if adventurers do not get caught off guard, they have a chance. From a technical perspective, there are no stats of this dragon in any book, but I think we can do ancient green dragon stats, adding swallow ability and also life draining aura ability to the table. For example, an aura that drains 1 year of adventurer's life and 1d4 maximum hit points per round in 60 feet radius, healing the dragon on the amount drained. And now, a bit of DM tips on how to play her. If you would like to add her to your campaign, first think of major events of the story. Draco Age, how she survived it, had she moved or returned to her lair? Spell Plague, what happened there? Or what about the modern events? Utilize her lair of riddles and traps. I think it might be a great adventuring dawn for your party. Finally, hug your enemies during the encounter to make use of your draining aura. And that's all on Aglaraerose, the dragon that never died. Without the need to eat, she had become sort of Schrödinger dragon, assumed alive and under the mountain, but could be really dead if somebody really checks on her, so who knows? And if you like the lore, please press like and subscribe button, and tell me in the comments below who else you would like to hear about, and see you next time.